Good afternoon, friends. I'm Dr. Aajay Shah, bringing you another Facebook Live. We are continuing to talk about the weight loss. I've done 33 segments. They all are on YouTube. So if you have not watched those 33 segments, please watch those 33 segments. This is segment number 34. Recently, I was asked that what is the healthiest way to lose weight? Let me tell you, losing weight is much more holistic and much more uh, uh, variety of things we have to do than just what we eat. So losing weight is actually more than what we eat. Recently, there was a survey done, seminar survey done, where Americans were asked that how many people exercise every day, has a BMI of 25 or less, has a normal cholesterol means below 200 cholesterol, do not smoke, eat plant-based diet most of the time, has no diabetes and no high blood pressure. And when this survey was done, only 3% of Americans were following all 7 items. Obviously, all these patients had obesity or overweight. So only 3% of population was following the 7 items. Let me repeat those 7 items. Exercise every day, which I've been promoting and I've been asking people to do every day. So exercise every day, body mass index of 25 or less, that means not overweight or not obese, having cholesterol below 200, not smoking, and having a plant-based diet, and having not diabetes and no high blood pressure. Only 3% of Americans were having all 7 criteria met. That's very concerning because those 7 items are the one which leads to good health and longevity. Um, I was also recently asked about a test which is called calcium scoring of the coronary arteries. A lot of obese patients, overweight patients, a lot of diabetic patients, a lot of patients with high blood pressure have high calcium score. Calcium score is the one where we do a simple CAT scan and see how much calcium is deposited into the blood vessels of the heart. Higher the calcium score, higher the chance of significant plaque buildup in the arteries of the heart. Calcium score of above 400 means significant amount of plaques. I recently had my calcium scoring done. Results are pending. My wife also had a calcium scoring done and her results are also pending. I will update you in next few days with both of our calcium score. Calcium score increases as obesity increases. So we need to lose weight, we need to be lean to stop the calcium score growing and also to prevent calcium deposit in the blood vessels. Um, Please watch my talk on Indians and heart disease. It's already on YouTube available. Just search on YouTube, Aajay Shah, Indians and heart disease. And if you are from India or if you are from Southeast Asia like Pakistan, Bangladesh, that 2 hour long video is must to prevent the heart disease. Again, Indians and heart disease. There was also another question asked about high blood pressure and obesity. When a person is obese, that means body mass index above 30. 70% of obese people have high blood pressure, sometimes even higher. And as we lose weight, as we become lean, blood pressure starts to come down. So losing weight below, getting BMI below 25 will help to control the blood pressure without medications. Also, I've done a separate video on high blood pressure. Please watch that video on YouTube channel, how to control high blood pressure without medications. Um, Also, recently I was watching a video and I realized that the restaurant portion size has gone up over the last 30 to 40 years. Now, every burger is bigger, every fry size is bigger. Actually, you can supersize the fries. Even soda is bigger and bigger over the last 30 to 40 years. So portion size in restaurants have gone up. Best thing is to avoid the restaurants as much as possible. Eating at home definitely will help you to lose weight. I have advised, as always, since I started this weight loss series 6 weeks ago, that try to eat at least 19 meals out of 21 meals at home, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So try to eat at home as much as possible. Cooking, in my opinion, is one of the survival skill. Every person should know how to cook. So teach your kids how to cook. If you don't know how to cook, learn from spouse, learn from YouTube videos, but definitely learn to cook. I'm learning myself to cook as much as possible. I need to give more efforts into learning of cooking, and I'm going to do that, for sure. I think learning to how to cook is one of the survival skill, and we must learn how to cook healthy, whole food, plant-based food. Um, there's also another quote by Dr. McDougall where he says that the fat you eat is the fat you wear. Fat you eat is the fat you wear. That means people who eat high fat calories diet are the people who typically will have fat around their belly, fat around their arms, fat on their face, fat on their back, fat on their thigh. So high fat calorie diet definitely is the reason obesity has rampant over the last 30, 40 years. Even though most people think that because of 70s and 80s, people are eating less fat, that's not true. Actually, the grams of fat in Americans' diet has gone up significantly. As Americans, we are eating anywhere from 300 to 500 more calories today than we used to 30 or 40 years ago. And partly that's the reason obesity has just ramped up. So we need to cut down the fat in our calorie. As you all know, fat gives 9 calories per gram, while carbohydrate and protein gives 4 calories per gram. So more fat you eat, higher the chance of obesity. Again, remember what Dr. McDougall says, fat you eat is the fat you wear. There was also another question about why animal protein is bad. The number one reason animal protein is bad because it stimulates the IGF-1 pathway. IGF-1 pathway is the insulin growth like factor 1 pathway, and that's responsible for many cancer growth and many precancerous growth. Animal fat also is many times accompanied by a lot of saturated fat. So animal protein is many times accompanied by a lot of saturated fat, and that's also bad for having heart disease, stroke, and many other vascular disease, even including dementia. So again, animal protein is definitely something one should limit and definitely, if possible, avoid at all if possible. So again, limit the animal protein as much as possible. Uh, animal products also have choline in their ingredient, and choline is acted by bacteria in the gut, bacteria in the colon, and that produces TMA, and that TMA is converted to TMAO in the liver, and this TMAO is actually responsible for causing many vascular disease. So again, having the choline in the animal products also leads to a lot of vascular disease. Animal protein, like I said, stimulates the mTOR pathway, which is a pathway which is growth pathway, and that actually increases the risk of having a cancer and many precancerous conditions. We need protein when we are growing up until about 15 or 20 at a slightly higher amount, and we need protein slightly higher amount after age 65. But between age 20 and 65, we don't need to eat more than about 50 to 80 or 90 gram of protein. Most Americans eat a lot more protein than what is recommended. And that's the reason there are a lot more cancers in America than I've seen in many other developing countries, particularly even in India. So we need to cut down on our animal protein and protein overall as much as we eat in America. Definitely more protein doesn't mean more muscle. If you want to build a muscle, it requires actually a significant amount of weight training and lifting weights much more than increasing the protein itself. I think if you go to gym or if you lift weights at home or if you do calisthenics, that has a higher chance of building muscle than just loading up on higher and higher protein. So for example, for my size, I need about 60 to 80, maybe maximum 85, 90 gram of protein per day, and I don't need 200, 150 gram of protein per day. And protein should be preferred as much as a plant protein. Plant protein in a higher amount is slightly more forgiving than animal protein. Animal protein, any amount is detrimental, but definitely high amount of animal protein is very bad for your health. The reason I'm telling you all this thing in this weight loss seminar, because weight loss is more than just losing weight and pounds. Weight loss means getting healthier because smoking will give you weight loss. Going on a keto diet will give you weight loss. Uh, you know, Going on a chemotherapy will give you weight loss. Becoming anorexic, having depression, having a cancer, all those things will give you weight loss, but that's not the healthy way to lose weight. So losing weight is more than just losing pounds. Losing weight and also getting same time healthier. And health is number one goal. Losing weight is the second goal. And that's the reason I've been telling you not just to lose weight by eating less food and going hungry, but by losing weight in a healthy way. That's where whole food, plant-based, no oil lifestyle comes in the way, and that's where I think we need to eat whole food, plant-based, no oil diet every day. Um, there was also a question about diabetes. Obesity leads to type 2 diabetes. People who are obese, they have very high chance of type 2 diabetes, almost 20 to 25, almost 30%. In America, type 2 diabetes is about 14 to 16, almost 17%. In African American, it's about 20%. In Hispanic, it's about 20%. In Medicare population, it's almost 25%. And Indians, like myself, diabetes is almost 22%. So diabetes prevalence is increasing and increasing over the last 15, 20 years. And obesity is a major reason for type 2 diabetes. Um, if you want to reverse the type 2 diabetes, number one goal is to lose weight and get down to body mass index of 22 or below. And you can do that by whole food, plant-based, no oil diet, limiting your animal products, regular exercise, uh, 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 avoiding substance abuse, including alcohol. If you have type 2 diabetes and if you go on my program with whole food, plant-based, no oil diet, make sure you check your sugars, particularly if you are on medications, because your sugar will start to come down very rapidly. In few days to few weeks, your sugar will start to come down and you will need to cut down on your diabetic medications. So make sure you stay in touch with your physician if you're going in my program. Many of my patients, when they have gone on my program to lose weight, the diabetes, type 2 diabetes has reversed very quickly. In few weeks to few months, many of my patients going on a whole food, plant-based, no oil diet have been able to stop their insulin and have been able to stop many of the expensive medications. Um, it will also require some exercise program, regular sleep, avoiding substance abuse, stress management. But if you do a holistic approach to lose weight, you will start losing 1 to 2 pounds per week. If you are about 300 pounds, you may lose even 3 to 4 pounds per week. And losing 1 to 2 pounds per week will give you 50 to 100 pounds per year, and that will definitely will reverse your type 2 diabetes. So again, reversing type 2 diabetes is possible with going on my program, whole food, plant-based, no oil diet, and becoming lean and lowering the body mass index below 22. The reason I want to talk about diabetes in this weight loss seminar is because many of the obese patients have type 2 diabetes. And as they start losing weight, they need to be careful that the sugar does not come down too quickly. Uh, Many of my weight loss seminars include a lot of information about health, not just losing weight. Because, like I always have said, having a better health is number one goal, and losing weight is number two goal. So, all my weight loss seminar always will include about health, not just about losing weight. If you lose weight and if you reverse type 2 diabetes, many of your complications of diabetes will start to go away and will reverse. Your neuropathy will improve, your eyesight will improve, your kidney disease will improve, and many of the vascular disease will also improve. So type 2 diabetes, if you follow my program, whole food, plant-based, no oil diet, you definitely will reverse the type 2 diabetes and will reverse many of the complications of type 2 diabetes. American Diabetic Association is pretty much drug centric. That means they are more into prescribing medications. They're more into pushing some of the newer expensive medications. In my opinion, American Diabetic Association almost has given up on lifestyle changes as the number one and most important therapy for reversing type 2 diabetes. That's where seminars like mine becomes very important, where you actually reverse your type 2 diabetes with lifestyle changes, with whole food, plant-based, no oil lifestyle instead of just going on expensive medications and insulin. If your doctor tells you that you need to go on one more medication for your type 2 diabetes, you can always tell your doctor that you want to go on a whole food, plant-based, no oil diet with minimal animal products, regular exercise, regular good sleep, and you want to try that for 6 to 8 weeks before going on one more medicine for diabetes. I'm sure your doctor will agree. Lifestyle changes are the best way to reverse and stabilize type 2 diabetes instead of going on more and more medications and going on insulin. Insulin is also actually not a good drug when it comes down to health. People who are on insulin have higher chance of cancers. People who are on insulin, they also have many other complications. So again, going on insulin should be the last resort if all other measures fail. If you lose weight with healthy lifestyle, like what I've been promoting, you actually not only don't have to go on insulin, but actually you can get off your insulin in 4 to 6 weeks by losing 10 to 15% of your body weight. And that's easily possible with going on a whole food, plant-based, no oil diet. Um, Also, when it comes down to type 2 diabetes, best thing is to prevent it by all means. So if you are pre-diabetic, if you have your A1C, the measure of sugar over 90 days between 5.7 and 6.5, try to reverse it to go below 5.7. So preventing type 2 diabetes, going from pre-diabetes to diabetes is much more easier than reversing type 2 diabetes, because by the time type 2 diabetes happens, pancreatic islet cell which secretes the insulin is already half gone. So best thing is to prevent the type 2 diabetes. So if you have pre-diabetes, please watch my video on YouTube. It was done with AARP. Again, pre-diabetes video with AARP. It's 1 hour long, but I talk everything about pre-diabetes, how to prevent it, how to reverse it. It's a 1 hour long, one of the excellent talk on pre-diabetes. So watch that video on pre-diabetes by AARP of Michigan. Again, preventing type 2 diabetes and not letting it go from pre-diabetes to type 2 diabetes is must and is most important instead of trying to go to type 2 diabetes and then try to reverse it. So again, prevent pre-diabetes and reverse the pre-diabetes to go back to the normal range. My A1C used to be 5.9 5 years ago. Now my A1C runs 5.1, 5.2 with 50-pound weight loss, regular exercise, regular good sleep. Um, and you can easily do that if you just follow all the 6 pillars of healthy lifestyle. Sometimes people ask me about keto diet and type 2 diabetes. Keto diet may lower your sugar, may lower your A1C, but actually underneath your insulin resistance is getting worse because insulin resistance happens because of the fat in the muscle cells, liver cells, pancreatic cells, and many other cells of the body. When you eat keto diet has a lot of saturated fat, and that saturated fat gets into the cells of the body, particularly the muscle, and your insulin resistance actually gets worse. So keto diet may give you lower sugar, may give you lower A1C, but actually underneath your insulin resistance is getting worse. So keto diet is not good for type 2 diabetes. Keto diet is definitely not good for weight loss. So do not go on a keto diet. I know right now the whole America is on the bandwagon of going on a keto diet. There are a lot of keto products, keto books, keto YouTube videos, keto seminars, but please avoid keto diet as much as possible. Keto diet is nothing but an old Atkins diet with new name, new clothes, and Atkins diet is come and gone. Same way keto diet will go, will come and go in next 5 to 10 years. So do not fall for a trap and go on a keto diet. Avoid the keto diet as much as possible. With keto diet, actually, heart disease also may get worse because a lot of saturated fat will increase your cholesterol and your heart disease may get worse. Same way, many of the diabetic medications have side effects. Insulin definitely has many side effects. So try to reverse your type 2 diabetes with lifestyle changes by going on a whole food, plant-based, no oil diet. There was also a question about sleep apnea and obesity. People who are obese, they have very high chance of having sleep apnea. I've seen many of my patients who are obese are on CPAP machine and have sleep apnea. As they lose weight, as they become lean, as their body mass index come below 30, below 25, even at 22, the sleep apnea completely goes away and they can get off the CPAP machine. A lot of people don't like the CPAP machine. Matter of fact, it's a proof that even on CPAP machine, there are a lot of episodes of low oxygen at night in people who are obese. And CPAP is not 100% cure for sleep apnea. So cure for sleep apnea is to lose weight and get the body mass index below 25, preferably below 22. When I was 200 pounds 5 years ago, I used to snore heavily. I probably had a sleep apnea. Now that I've lost weight, my sleep apnea is gone. My snoring is gone. My sleep has improved. When I wake up in the morning, I feel fresh. So if you have sleep apnea, best way to reverse the sleep apnea and get rid of the CPAP mask is to lose weight in a healthy way with whole food, plant-based, no oil diet, getting the body mass index BMI below 22. Uh, Also, I've been talking about this concept of caloric density. So if you have not watched video on caloric density by Chef AJ on Fox Over Knife, Ultimate Secrets to Weight Loss, please watch that video in next day or two. One of the best video for explaining caloric density. If you want to lose weight, you have to know the concept of caloric density by heart. Again, caloric density. To give you caloric density in next 2-3 minutes, calorie density means how many calories per pound. Different food have different calorie density and they give different calories per pound. For example, oil is the most calorie dense food on the earth. Oil gives you 4,000 calories per pound. Animal products gives you anywhere from 1,500, 1,800 to 3,000 calories per pound. Nuts and seeds gives you about 3,000 calories per pound. Bread gives you about 1,200 calories per pound. Uh, Vegetables, green vegetables gives you only 100 calories to 150 calories per pound. Fruits gives you about 2 to 300 calories per pound. So if you eat the food which is low caloric dense, you will be able to eat lots of volume of food without getting too many calories, and you will start losing weight automatically. The magic number for losing weight for caloric density is 560. If you eat all the food which has a caloric density below 560, you will start losing weight automatically. I urge you to watch video on caloric density on YouTube. Just go on YouTube and type in caloric density and you will find lots of videos. The best video is by Chef AJ on forks over knives, and the video is called Ultimate Secrets to Weight Loss. Please watch that video. There are also a few other videos. There's another caloric density video by Jeff Novick. He is a registered dietitian, and that video is also a very good video on caloric density. If you want to lose weight, you must know what caloric density means. So again, learn caloric density by heart. I also have some videos on caloric density. They're short videos, so subscribe to my YouTube channel and watch those videos on my YouTube channel. Uh, actually, actually, I was reading recently about the consumption of meat in America. In 1900, we were eating about 100 to 125 pounds of meat. That has gone up to almost 200 to 225 pounds of meat per year. So meat consumption almost has been 1.5 to 2 times. Beef consumption is slightly less over the last 30 years, but chicken consumption almost has doubled over the last 50 years. So again, people are eating 1.5 to 2 times more meat products, more animal products over the last 50 to 100 years than ever before. And that's the reason obesity has gone on rampage. A lot of the cancers have gone on rampage. A lot of heart disease has not come down. Even though a lot of technology, a lot of medications, a lot of procedures, heart disease is still number one killer for last 100 years. And that's partly because obesity has gotten worse and animal products with a lot of saturated fat has gone higher. There was also a article by Dr. Neil Bernard about whole food plant-based no oil diet. That diet was compared with American Diabetic Association diet, and then whole food plant-based no oil diet clearly did better in terms of lowering A1C, improving sugar, and losing weight. So again, the no uh, whole food plant-based no oil diet has been tested in studies and compared with standard American Diabetic Association diet, and it has done better. If you compare whole food plant-based no oil diet with a standard American diet, which has a 65% processed food, 25% animal products, the 8% potatoes and ketchup, and many of the processed vegan plant-based food, uh, whole food plant-based no oil diet clearly wins all the time in terms of reversing type 2 diabetes, reversing high blood pressure, reversing obesity, and reversing many of the issues. There was a question about olive oil. Uh, Olive oil actually has some data that it may be good for health. I personally believe that olive oil should be avoided except 1 tablespoon of olive oil uh, per day in salad um, uh, without cooking to get most poly and monosaturated fat. So olive oil, 1 tablespoon per day, which is about 120 calories to get poly and monosaturated fat on your salad, but do not use olive oil for cooking and do not use any other vegetable oil at all. And oil is one of the most calorie dense foods, so avoid oil as much as possible, except maybe 1 tablespoon of olive oil, extra virgin olive oil on your salad. Um, Same way, I think eating olives gives you a lot of micronutrients, a lot of fiber, a lot of other ingredients, while olive oil is the most processed product of olives. So eating whole olive may be better than eating olive oil itself. But again, I personally feel that 1 tablespoon of olive oil on your salad is allowed, particularly to get poly and monosaturated fat, and that may help to increase your HDL and lower your LDL? That was a question by Steve Manahan on our Facebook page. Now, going back to my talk, uh, there are 6 pillars of healthy lifestyle. I always have been promoting the 6 pillars of healthy lifestyle as a holistic approach to lose weight, to get healthier, to live long. And to repeat those 6 pillars, the number one pillar is what we eat. Number two is our physical activity or exercise. Number three is sleep. Number four is substance abuse, including alcohol. Number five, stress management. And number six is relationship. All 6 pillars are very important, but the number one important pillar is what we eat. What we eat is the most important pillar, and we don't give enough time and enough resources and enough knowledge and enough energy in what we eat. Many times we don't even cook at home for half an hour to 1 hour. We just go out to a fast food, to a restaurant, and grab a quick meal, which many times is loaded with a lot of saturated fat, a lot of animal protein, and a lot of other processed ingredients. So again, eating is the most important pillar out of the 6 pillars. We sleep 8 hours, we work 8 hours, and we do a lot of other social activities, social function. But we don't put enough time in our day in planning for our meals or cooking or taking care of our food, what we eat. So in my opinion, out of 24 hours, we all should be spending at least hour and a half every day in preparing our meals, planning our meals, looking up more recipes, reading about whole food, plant-based, no oil diet. So again, try to spend at least hour and a half up to 2 hours every day in preparing meals, sitting down at a dining table and eating healthy meal, spending time while you eat and talking, because eating is the most important pillar out of all the six pillars. So again, definitely plan your meals, cook healthy food, cook whole food, plant-based, no oil diet, and eat with your family. Take your time to eat slowly, chew more, chew longer. Uh, uh, your lunch and dinner should be at least 15 to 30 minutes instead of eating in a car or eating while driving or eating a quick bite, 2, 3 minute, 4 minute, or eating while watching TV or eating while doing work. All those things are not the healthy way of eating. Again, eating is the most important pillar. Try to put your time, try to put your energy, try to put resources into what you eat. Learn about cooking, learn about new recipes, and please watch my other segments, segment 1 to 33, to get more tips on how to cook, how to make whole food, plant-based, no oil diet. There are millions of recipes on YouTube now about whole food, plant-based, no oil cooking. There are lots of Facebook groups where there are lots of recipes are posted. So please be part of those Facebook group and learn how to cook whole food, plant-based, no oil recipes and diet. Um, I would say spend at least 1.5 to 2 hours every day on cooking and planning and eating, and preparing your meals and learning about new whole food, plant-based, no oil recipes. Um, I also personally feel that you can never uh, over exercise to overcome a bad diet. Exercise will never overcome a bad diet, because eating one donut is almost 300 to 500 calories, and that's hour and a half of running, and we never run that day. Average American takes about 3,000 steps per day. 3,000 steps per day. That's including all the walking at work, all the walking in a parking lot, all the walking at home, all the walking going to the bathroom. And 3,000 steps means about mile to mile and a half of walking. That's not enough. My average steps for last 5 years is anywhere from 18 to 22,000 steps per day. I walk every day, at least 8 to 14, 8 to 15 miles. Some days I walk 20 miles in a day. And I work full time. I work 8 hours. I drive 2 hours, 1 hour each way. And I still manage to walk at least 2.5 to 3, or sometimes 4 hours in a day. Walking is must. At the same time, I also personally have realized that my walking cannot overcome a bad diet. If you eat a lot of calorie dense food, if you eat a lot of unhealthy food, if you eat a lot of oily fried food, if you eat a lot of animal products, you will never be able to prevent the obesity or prevent many of the chronic disease if you exercise 2 3 hours. Exercise will never overcome a unhealthy diet or very calorie dense fried food and donuts and chips and cookies and cakes. So do not think that exercise can overcome a bad diet. There was also a question about which food I should be buying organic and which food I should not be buying organic. The easiest way to Google a thing called Dirty Dozen Clean 15. And that list is updated every few months. Again, Dirty Dozen Clean 15. And that list will give you what food should be bought organic. In general, food which has sprayed insecticide and many other chemicals should be bought organic. The food where the outer layer is removed, you don't need to buy the organic. For example, bananas, you don't need to buy organic because you will be taking the pill out. So again, look at that list on Google, Dirty Dozen, Clean 15, and you'll be able to find all the thing you need to know about which food you should be buying organic. Uh, there's also a question about processed food. Let me tell you, the food which is made in the factories is the food is made to addict you. Every company has an invested interest into making you addicted to their food from that particular company. At the same time, we also know that there are about 10 companies which control 99% of the processed food in the world, just 10 companies. And all those 10 companies are very resourceful. They're billions of dollars. They have a whole army of scientists to make the food which is very addictive to your palate. And the way they make it addictive is by adding salt, oil, and sugar. Salt, oil, and sugar. So if you look at any processed food, every processed food will have either two or many times all three ingredients in that processed food. And that processed food will make you addicted. Just like, it used to say you cannot have one chip. You will finish the whole bag, will look for second, third bag. Same way, most processed food, you will not have a small amount. You will be actually finishing a whole bag and will go for more and more. And the company are doing that purposefully, and company are having this scientific research, and based on a lot of studies, they actually make the food which is addictive. For example, Coke has salt and sugar in the Coke. You would think that why a Coke should have salt, but salt is very addictive, and sugar is obviously very addictive, and that will make you addicted to Coke. A lot of my patients have addiction to soda, Coke, Pepsi, Mountain Dew, many other sugar-related sodas, and many times it's hard to quit because those food are very addictive. My last Coke, my last Pepsi, my last any kind of soft drink was 4 years ago, actually. I have not had any soft drink for 4 years. Matter of fact, recently I also quit coffee and decaf because they both can raise the cholesterol. And I did not have coffee and decaf for about 15 days. Only thing I'm doing is now is green tea. In the morning, I have a caffeinated green tea, and in the evening, I have a decaf green tea, sometimes with soy milk, sometimes just black green tea. My cholesterol has come down by 30 points in 2 weeks. I'm curious what it will be this Tuesday. I've been checking my cholesterol weekly with changing a lot of diet. The thing I'm working myself on, which I'm having hard time at times, is to avoid eating at the restaurants. We all are social people. We like to go out. We like somebody serves us. We like to chat. We like to talk and eat food while somebody is serving us. Going to a restaurant has become like a new pastime for all of us, not just in America, but all over the world. In India, in my city, people go out to eat 4 or 5 times a week. When I was growing up, we went out to eat maybe once a month. Once a month. Now in India, in my city, people go out to eat many times, 4 or 5 times a week. So eating out at the restaurant has become a new pastime. Many evenings people go out and eat. And I'm working myself on how to cut down on eating, going to the restaurants. And I'm myself having hard time. So I understand what you go through. But eating at home, your own made food is the healthiest way of losing weight. So try to minimize going out to the restaurant. Try to eat at home as much as possible. The restaurant food are laden with salt, oil, sugar, many processed ingredients, many animal products, many calorie dense food, very high portion size, large portion size. Like when I go to a restaurant, most of the time we end up sharing meal with my wife. Like last night, we shared a bean burrito with my wife, and even with sharing, the half of the bean burrito was so large I could not even finish it. So again, even the bean burrito we share half and half. Still, it was very large. So I personally advise you that if you go out with friends or with your spouse, share your meals or bring half home. Many times you can be even satisfied with 1/3 of the dish they give you at the restaurant. So try to avoid restaurant as possible. Be a smart person at the restaurant, what you eat, how much you eat. Definitely drink water instead of drinking any kind of sugar-laden drinks or soda or alcohol or beer. Um, uh, have fruits at dessert as much as possible. Ask for steamed vegetables as a side dish. Avoid those white bread as much as you can, and definitely be smart eating at the restaurant. Avoid restaurant. That's the best part. But if you have to go to a restaurant with a friend or with a family, avoid eating all those highly saturated fat food. and large portion size. So again, eating in restaurants should be avoided as much as possible. I myself is working on it. I'm still having hard time, but I decided since last night that I'm going to not eat at the restaurant, probably not more than once a week or even less if possible. So again, avoid restaurants as much as possible. Uh, Again, there was a question about cost of the obesity. Obesity obviously will lead to many, many chronic disease, including high blood pressure, heart disease, diabetes, many cancers, many joint replacements, fatty liver disease, cirrhosis, dementia, many, many chronic disease. So those diseases will cost significant amount of money in procedures, in medications, a lot of the healthcare costs. Obese people also typically are financially at times being at disadvantage. Many obese patients do not get the promotions at work. Many obese patients are not paid the same amount as compared to the lean people. Also, when you are obese, you're having hard time buying a regular size clothes, which are much more cheaper. So obesity has a lots of different kind of costs, and obesity should be prevented by all means and should be reversed by all means. And eating whole food, plant-based, no oil diet is the healthiest way and probably the fastest way of losing weight. You can lose 1 to 2 pounds. And if you are 300 pounds, you can lose 3 to 4 pounds per week. Please watch my videos 1 to 33 on YouTube channel. If you are new to today's live, please watch all 1 to 33 YouTube videos on obesity, healthy living with Dr. Aajay Shah. Please share this video on your page if you think your friends and family will benefit. I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Watch all 1 to 33 videos. Watch other videos on my YouTube channel also. Definitely watch Caloric Density video by Chef AJ. Read more books by Chef AJ and many other authors, including Joe Furman. Watch more YouTube videos. Learn more recipes on whole food, plant-based, no oil diet, and uh, and you will start losing weight. Uh, I will see you again tonight. I'll be doing a live with Mike, uh, uh, our 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 co-host who is going to be a regular person on our YouTube channel and also on our Facebook page to help. He himself is a personal trainer, very fit person, very accomplished person. He's also a health coach, and he actually will be coming live tonight, I believe around 7 or 8 o'clock. So please stay tuned for that. Have a great afternoon. Eat healthy, exercise, take a nap if you have to, sit in the sauna if you have access to, spend time with the family, spend time with the spouse, and see you in the evening. Have a great afternoon. Thank you.